I think Nick Casario needs to hit a home run in free agency. And why I say he definitely needs to, because last year it was just bringing veterans in to change the culture of the team. Tyrod Taylor, Damian Amendola, Mark Ingram, Philip Lindsay. You brought in high character guys to rebuild the culture that was brought down by Bill O'Brien. Now it's a year later. You're in a position now where you potentially have a capable QB in Davis Mills who you need to build around. You just hired Lovie Smith and Pep Hamilton, who are both working together and putting in a respectively good staff. Shout out to those two, and shout out to Nick Casario for letting them bring in their respective colleagues and bringing them in and hire them. You have two former head offensive line coaches working on the offensive line that heavily needs to be addressed. You have Pep Hamilton bringing in his guys, Lovie's bringing in his guys. Absolutely love that. This coaching staff is already miles ahead of what it was last year. But now that we're in free agency, it needs to be triples and home runs. No more singles and doubles. And I'm going to give you my top 5 guys who I think the Houston Texans should definitely take a look at. And you're going to see that it's pretty much everywhere. Offense, defense, skills, position, linemen, guards, centers. Because the Houston Texans still have a lot of holes. And at number 1, I have James Daniels, who is the right guard for the Chicago Bears. And this dude is an absolute monster. Only 24 years old. There's really no holes in his game. Consistency is getting better, every season. He's great at the run. He's great at pass blocking. He's great at the zone scheme. Gets to the second level like nobody's business. And when he gets his hands on you, it's very hard to get away. It's like as soon as he starts running with you, you can't separate yourself. You can't chop block. He's technically sound. His feet are there. His hands are there. And he's someone who you will have to throw a bag at. But this is someone who you need on the offensive line to help Davis Mills back there, because it looks like the Houston Texans are going to not only go forward with Davis Mills, but maybe start investing into him. Number 2 on my list is Bradley Bozeman, the center from the Baltimore Ravens. If you want to run the ball downhill like what Lovie Smith says, then you want this man leading your offensive line. He's 26, 25, he played like he was one of the best centers in the NFL, which he damn near was. At one point had 100% win rate. What he is able to do on the field and off the field is what the Houston Texans need. I love Justin Britt. He's a cheap, reliable option. But if you want someone to take the offensive line to the next level, Bradley Bozeman knows where all his men need to be. He's hyping up the offensive line. He's headbutting each and every single one of them to get them going, on the field. No one could get by him, and when he helps on the double teams, he's putting that guy in the dirt. You want a nasty center, someone who could pull like he can, someone who could get to the second level like he can, and just finishes, a powerful finisher, throws you in the dirt. He can help this offensive line go to new levels. And if you bring in James Daniels also and go ahead and get a Bradley Bozeman, that is a huge, huge addition to your offensive line. When you talk about who they brought in as coaches, they brought in 2 former offensive line, coaches who at one point led their own squad, and now they have 2 people working on the line. That's something that I am excited about. Bradley Bozeman immediately makes his offensive line better. His IQ of the game, his love of the game is what impresses me the most. Would absolutely love if the Houston Texans added him. Number 3, I think, is, the defensive line definitely needs to be addressed. B.J. Hill, the defensive lineman from the Cincinnati Bengals, and he has been nothing short of, amazing this postseason run. Had the tip interception to himself, the sack on Patrick Mahomes, the sack against Derek Carr. He has been everywhere. 5.5 sacks on the season. Has been dominant against the run game. Finally got his shot after being traded from the Giants. He was buried in that depth chart. They put him alongside DJ Reader, and he is actually flourishing. He broke out this season, and that's why a lot of people view him as one of the best D linemen, in the free agency market. The Houston Texans, we lost DJ Reader to the Bengals. Let's go ahead and bring in B.J. Hill from the Bengals to the Texans, a guy who could win one-on-one, could get to the QB, but you know why he's there. He's there to clog up the run, and he's there to stop the run. B.J. Hill would love that. Number four, I think the Houston Texans definitely need some cornerbacks, right? So DJ Reed Jr., the outside corner for the Seattle Seahawks, he's only 5'9", right? But what he lacks in that, that size, he brings in physicality. He doesn't back down. He's a demon in the run game. He fits that zone system that Lovie Smith runs. So whatever happens with Desmond King, I hope that even if he stays, you still bring in someone like DJ Reed Jr., a young guy. He's in that 25, 26 range. Could definitely be here for a couple years. Could earn a second contract. Just someone who's not scared, man. And the Houston Texans definitely need that. Justin Reed tries to be that guy. Tries to be that that hard hitting, safety leader of the defense. But it just wasn't there. And DJ Reed Jr. definitely brings that. He went against Chase Claypool. He went against Devontae Adams. Was not scared of it. Was not scared of him. Each of those guys 6'3", 6'4", and he's only 5'9", but was not afraid to go up against them. Was asking for them. So bringing someone with that dog mentality the Houston Texans need. And at number 5, to finish off the list, I have Christian Kirk, the slot wide receiver for the Arizona Cardinals. 985 yards on the season, 77 catches, and 5 touchdowns. This dude is just a big-time playmaker. Makes the contested catches, not scared to go up and get it. He's a surefire number 2, at the most low end number 1 wide receiver. Was outside last year, and then they moved him into the slot where he was just dominant. I think Davis Mills needs a slot wide receiver to get things going. Definitely played better when a slot wide receiver was making plays for him. We saw how good he played with Damian Amendola. His first touchdown came to Brandon Cook where he was in the slot. Davis Mills has 2 good outside guys, right? He has Brandon Cooks. He has Nico Collins, who we're all expecting Nico to have a better, second year. However, Christian Kirk will come in immediately and just command the middle of the field, can take a top off the defense, is a mismatch if left one-on-one. The yards after the catch are what, excites me. He makes big-time plays. Contested plays will be 3rd and long, and that's the guy that they go to. Like I said, he really stepped up for the Arizona Cardinals when DeAndre Hopkins went down. Damn near had 1,000 yards. He is someone I want the Houston Texans to go get. And if your offensive weapons are Brandon Cooks, Nico Collins, and Christian Kirk, and maybe sprinkle in some more low-budget wide receivers, I'm actually on board for that. I think Christian Kirk can do a lot of great things for the Houston Texans and for Davis Mills. And this pretty much rounds up my top 5 free agents that the Houston Texans should definitely target. Let me know what you guys think. As always, go Texans. You guys have a blessed day.